I mean, it would have made sense with it being her castle and all, but according to the instructions, this is a... Hello everyone, welcome to AMBR Builds, where assembly may be required. And the castle is done. This is it in all of its majesty. It is tall. It is very tall. It is a little too tall. I don't know if too tall is the right word, but this thing sure is a behemoth of a Lego set. After completing the build, I so badly wanted to say this might be my favorite Lego set. But I think favorite is such a strong word to say this is like the single best set I have. I don't like to play favorites here. But regardless, this thing, not just for its size and all the little details that we have on there, down to some of the rock work as you go up and you get to see everything, especially comparing this to a photo of the actual castle. This thing was very well designed. And one of my favorite things about it is actually all the little references it has to both other Disney movies and some very Disney Magic Kingdom Park specific references. And even with that, there's a few that I still don't quite understand. So I wanted to show a couple of those and also talk about some of the references that I'm trying to make sense of. I wanted to do like a let's do a dive in through the castle here. So let's go. And coming out on the back side of it, we have, let's start with the Fantasia reference. This one's pretty cool. It's the only one that isn't specific to a princess. This one is referencing Sorcerer's Mickey, and then his broom buddies come to life. That, I think, of everything is like one of the easiest to decipher. Same thing. I mean, this is Cinderella's castle. This is based off a German castle in real life, I believe, or at least something European. So having a genie lamp and that magic carpet, or just a rug hung up, that's very easy to look at and go, yeah, that's a Jasmine reference. That's an Aladdin reference. Now, over here we have Beauty and the Beast. Look at that Lumiere. This is such a great little representation of Lumiere. I love how they built it. And there's something about with yellow Lego pieces in the instructions, they always look like a shade off. And then when you actually build it in real life, like this, now that it's all assembled, it definitely looks like the yellow it should be. But in the instructions, it just doesn't look correct. I don't know really how else to explain it. The yellow just always looks off in Lego instructions. And then Belle's Rose is pretty nice. That is stuck into that piece using it's just a green rod, like a solid green lightsaber or old school wand, like a lightsaber blade or an old school wand piece, and then a red flower on the end. And now I definitely need to work on getting a better lighting setup, but that is the spinning wheel from Sleeping Beauty, and that is on the same floor as the Sorcerer's Hat. I know I'm kind of bouncing all around here, but I'm trying to go in order of what the easiest references are to the hardest ones to get. Speaking of easy, let's see, we have a red apple and we have a mirror on the wall. And I know Shrek has nothing to do with this. Otherwise, if I saw this mirror in any other context, I probably would have thought of Shrek before anything else. But that is Snow White. And then here we have a chest with some scissors. And inside there's also a brush and a lock of hair. And a better view of what I was talking about. It is a lock of black hair, and it's a piece I've never seen before. I'm wondering what else this gets used for, if not hair. And then we got the little yellow brush. Let's flip that around. And then the scissors. And I like that a minifigure can actually hold that if it came down to it. So for example, if Donald wants to go running through the castle hall with scissors in his hand, that does seem like something Donald would do. I feel like he'd get himself into some mischief running with scissors in Cinderella's castle. And inside of this tower part here is the Cinderella reference. I know, Cinderella's castle wasn't enough to have a reference for her. But inside here, and if you see, I actually have the extra firework pieces in there, but there's a book and a glass case that you build yourself. And in the glass case is a glass slipper you build. And I thought that was actually a pretty neat build. I almost thought it was one piece at first, and then I thought it was two pieces until you actually build it and you realize it's just a cheese slope, a 1x2 plate, and then a clear stud. See if I can get that in focus. And this doesn't seem to want to focus for me too nicely. And then the book has a printed tile inside that says Once Upon a Time. Now here in the castle on the second floor is a kitchen. And it's got a brick oven. See if I can get a light on there. We've got a pot inside. We've got some carrots and some hot dogs in a barrel. A broom, a cauldron. And this was something I thought was a little odd. It actually has you in the instructions. I don't know if we can see it in there. Put two pans on top of each other, one just sitting loosely. And then there's a pumpkin, which is actually a scary looking jack-o'-lantern, but turned around. Then we've got some cutlery, a butcher's knife, and then we have some sort of bottles on the shelf there. Now, I would have thought that this set was really double dipping, and this would have been another Cinderella reference. I mean, it would have made sense with it being her castle and all, but according to the instructions, this is a Little Mermaid reference. And I have the proof right there. They have this 2-page layout where they show you what all the references are from. And right there, from that kitchen scene in The Little Mermaid. Who would have thought? I know that is not at all where my mind would have went when it comes to the references. I also would have thought that this here would have maybe been a reference to the fact that in the castle in Magic Kingdom Park, there's a restaurant inside, that maybe this is like the restaurant part of the real life castle, but I really don't think it's that. And we know it's Little Mermaid now. And I'm going to work on getting a more efficient lighting setup. I'm not the biggest fan of using this flashlight because it just, see how it gets the shadows? The shadows are so sharp and so angular and really make it look more mysterious than it's supposed to be. But this vase here is something on the bottom floor. It's more or less just a detail, kind of how there are the knights and there are the flames and the chandelier. I think they're just details of the bottom floor of the castle, not really meant to represent anything specific. But in the shadows here, you can see there is a grandfather clock. Now, in my Lego Store Bounty video, I already talked about a little how when I started building this, I thought this was a nice little mini build. And for a moment, I thought maybe it is representing Cogsworth. I believe that's the name of the grandfather clock in Beauty and the Beast. But the more I think about it, I think this is just a nice detail on that bottom floor. Now, I would love to believe that the 3 shields Minnie is showing us here have some more significance, but from the research I've done, I'm not too sure. Close up, let's take a look. One has 3 lions and it's in blue. One has 3 birds and it's in red. And the other has a blue stripe and 1 lion. But from what I've come up with, these almost just seem generic. They don't seem to be anything that's in the castle in real life, and they're not really tied specifically to any princesses. I think they're just coats of arms hung up on the walls. Oh, and before we go back to the other side of the castle, this is the last enigma. Now we've looked over all the different rooms and what the references are to, but this one. Actually, I'm sorry, Merida, I almost forgot about your bone arrow set on the deck here. But this bed, with the bright yellowish orange sheets, the pillows, the purple floor, the pink and yellow blinds, I don't know what this is a reference to. The book doesn't explain it, and I tried looking up pictures. My first guess, you see a bed, I think Sleeping Beauty, and I don't quite think this was trying to be that. My personal fan theory, kind of in vein with the kitchen being the kitchen for the restaurant, this is to represent the Disney Dream Suite, but I know if you saw a picture of the two side by side, it also wouldn't look like that. But in my own headcanon, I'm going to call this the Disney Dream Suite. Maybe I'll have to get some lucky minifigures who will, they'll win a stay here and I'll keep them in the castle. But coming up from the bridge here is my favorite detail and reference on the castle. It's going to be the crest right here, and I took it off to get a better view. But this is to represent the Disney family crest that hangs on the front of the castle in real life. Something like that is really like the detail I'm looking for. The princess little Easter eggs are cool, and that's something that Disney fans as a whole can get and appreciate. But the things specific to Walt, man, those are the things that that really, really make me appreciate this set. Besides its great attention to detail and everything else it stands for. The only thing I wish, now if I could go back and throw a little add-on into this castle, I've already heard a lot of people wished it had the backside complete off the gate. But what I would love to add would have been right in the front of the castle, maybe build the partner statue of Walt and Mickey, because that's kind of on this little area, and then there's the road going in a circle around it, and then you get this, well, then there's a stage, and then it leads up to the castle. And I know they can't build everything, they can't include every detail, especially when you're trying to make this something for a consumer and make it an affordable price. But I think that would have been cool. That would even make for a really great, maybe a polybag, or maybe an exclusive set one day. But besides that, I'm very happy with this castle. I loved showing it off and showing the different rooms, and especially the references that I thought were very cool. The things that they don't talk about on the box. And there is a discussion to be had. What is that bedroom supposed to be? What do you think it is? Could there have been a better reference for Ariel as well? I was thinking of maybe doing something with Flounder or with Sebastian the Crab, putting a little crab somewhere. I feel like that would have been harder to understand. But I think we're going to end it on this shot of Tinkerbell here. For anyone that joined, thanks for watching, and if you like Disney, if you like Lego, you can definitely expect a lot more of that from this channel, especially with the Haunted Mansion set coming up that I have to get around to building. So, until next time, thanks for watching.